Okay, so I've got a few questions then to throw your way. Um, so one sec, let me just get my emails up. So
You're good, bro.
firstly, let's start from before it happened. So in terms of your channel, what you were doing before the MrBeast giveaway, and was it your full-time job? Did you have a job?
Yeah, so I can get into like quite a bit of detail here. Um, going like super far back, I actually started. So it shows I started my YouTube channel in like 2009. And I started making videos like way back then. I was super like I loved watching like Freddie Wong and Corridor Digital and those guys. So ever since like I was super young, me and my friends would like make videos, whether they were Lego stop motion videos or they were like action skits where I'd like figure out how to overlay like muzzle flares and stuff like that on our airsoft guns. So the before I actually like started the channel again in 2017 because a lot of stuff like happened between that. I'd made like 100 videos of just like these VFX things and like just me alone in my backyard with like an airsoft gun, climbing over my fence and like pretending to be in a firefight and getting like, you know, yeeted. So hopefully my neighbors are okay with that. Nothing happened, so obviously they've been good. But so that's kind of what I was doing like beforehand. So I've always had like a interest in making videos, which kind of bled into how I made money. So like I did like Taekwondo since I was like 7 or martial arts because I did a different martial art until I was about 10. And from there, like I just made a lot of connections. And then people figured out that like, I made videos. So when I was like 14 or 15, I did like my first like paid gig of like shooting a video for someone. It was like $250 and it was like, oh shoot, this is sick. So I kind of went more into that when I was older. I'd stopped kind of making my own YouTube videos at this point because I was just like pretty obsessed with just doing Taekwondo. We like traveled and competed and stuff like that. It was super fun. I made like a bunch of friends. That's where I made like most of my friends.
Yeah.
And then from there, let's see. I Yeah, so I started like after I kind of made a little bit of money doing that, I began to transition from like working at the dojon and teaching. The dojon's like it's a taekwondo school, so you could call it dojo or whatever. Like if you watch Cobra Kai, which I don't, by the way. But yeah, so I was working at the taekwondo dojon teaching like gymnastics and stuff like that, and that's kind of where I started learning flips for like our most popular series, which is Stunts in Real Life. And then I, at the same time, was doing this. Actually, I forgot to mention this other YouTube channel called Manic TV, and that was crazy, bro. This is what like no one knows because I've never like shared it. Like I had two YouTube channels before. I had this one where I made like 100 videos, and then started vlogging in 2017 and then deleted all my videos, which I regret so much because I literally can't get them back. They're like my hard drives like are dead. And then I started vlogging for like a year, like was making just like weekly and like at times like daily vlogs and stuff like that because I loved watching Casey Neistat's videos and like Tanner Brungart's videos. And then from there, I actually met these guys named More J Stu. So they went to my church and they already had like 3 million subscribers at the time. And I was like, oh my gosh, I think I've like watched some of these guys' videos. So my brother was at youth group and he was like, yo, you guys make YouTube videos? My brother makes YouTube videos. I only had like 200 subscribers at the time. And he showed my videos to Andrew, one of the guys who runs the channel. And he was like, oh, like these are actually pretty good. Not like, that's what he said. I'm not like trying to toot my own horn or anything. But he was like, oh, these like have potential. So he kind of like him and the other guy who runs the channel, Justin, like took me under their wing. And later after like I did this Manic TV YouTube channel, which was actually like a partnership channel similar to theirs, except with one of their friends. After that kind of ended, I went and they became like a client for this, like because I started doing a media production business where I'd get like monthly, like people paying monthly to like have content produced for them, or like have their social media managed and content produced on it. So like I had a couple people paying me to do that monthly. But I don't know, maybe I should get more into this Manic TV thing because it's crazy, bro. I started doing this like this Manic TV channel, and I probably can't get into too much, but like it was like the craziest, weirdest thing that's ever happened, because I did it for like 8 months, and then like at the end of the 8 months, I found out that like pretty much we found out that like, and I'm not trying to like talk bad about anyone, but that like my business partner, like who was more JC's friend, like wasn't exactly who he said he was. And we thought he was like this person for like 8 months. And then we slowly found out that he was like a different person. And I wish I could go more into it, but it was pretty crazy, and ended up in the deletion of that channel, which was like gaining traction. Like our first video did like 3 million views on that one. It was like a teddy bear in public prank. I like got in this Costco teddy bear and just like scared people when I was more brave. I gotta get that back. But yeah, man, it was kind of crazy. Like just some stuff happened that I probably legally can't get into. And a lot of people don't know that you know, things kind of went an interesting way with that channel. But a lot of my like OG, you know, people who watched the channel back when it was called Matthew Doyon and not Zealous, which is my name. That's when like they would always ask like what happened to Manic TV, and I wouldn't be able to tell them because it's just so weird. So I don't know, who knows? Maybe I'll talk more about it sometime. All I can say is it ended in a restraining order, and it was so weird. So
you've got quite a sort of history then, long before your current channel on YouTube.
Yeah, you know, it is kind of interesting because I wish like I kept. I guess I have this habit of just deleting channels. Like I wish I kept them up so that like people could see like what led up to it. Because I feel like one of the things is like uh, I just I don't want people to think like not in a way like where it serves me, like this thought process, but a way where it like serves them. I don't want them to think that like overnight success is like a real thing, which like it is, like obviously the world's a crazy place, stuff happens, but like you know, I was before the Shoutout, even like I was just consistently like pulling all-nighters even when I was like 17. Like me and my friends like took this trip to Hawaii. Like we all kind of went and made it like a group thing. And we stayed with our friend's uncle, so it was a lot cheaper because we could stay for free and just fly out there. But I was like, you know, on vacation, like staying up to like 3 and waking up at like, you know, 7, like we just, you know, trying to put out daily videos and stuff like that. And I want people to know that like, you know, it's so much more worth it when you kind of like actually like work for it. And I definitely am someone who worked for it less, I think, than other people. Because really like what I'm thankful for the Shoutout is that it like provided this opportunity to like get into different conversations and learn so much more that I hadn't known beforehand, that I probably like wouldn't have gotten to the point where I'm at right now if I didn't like have that Shoutout and be forced to like kind of grow and catch up so the channel didn't die. But yeah, I get a lot of comments where, you know, people are like, you're only like people only like you or people only follow you because of MrBeast. And you know, it's true. Like obviously, what is it, like I think 95 or 97% of my subscribers are from that, actually, except like, you know, you could debate the ones that have kind of come on since. But you know, I always like, I'm like, man, like don't let someone else's like circumstance let you like just make an excuse of why you can't go for what you want to go for, you know. Because that's all I want, like with YouTube, is just to be able to like obviously like enjoy the content that I make, but also connect with an audience and inspire people. And that's what I've kind of like fallen short of, I think, over the year. Like we've had videos that pop off and stuff like that. You know, I was just talking to my friend the other day. I've actually like kind of been like going through a little bit of like just asking questions to myself of like, you know, do I actually enjoy the content that I'm making, like just a bunch of like kind of deeper questions. And my friend was like, he was like just encouraging me. It's like two of our most viewed videos like don't have to do with a shout out at all, and I am like really proud of that. But I'm still like you get a video that gets like 14 15 million views, it's like, oh dude, that's like absolutely insane. That's like New York City 2 times over saw my video. Like what? So it's like it's mind blowing. But for me, like the satisfaction, honestly, like I'm learning, doesn't come as much from like the views. It comes from like what I'm able to create and how I'm able to like connect with my audience more. Because that's one. There's probably like it's one of three main reasons why I just really, even after like going through a lot of doubt and like, is this actually what I want to do? It's one of the main reasons why I know that I do want to do YouTube, is because it allows you to like have real estate in people's hearts. And when they come up to you on the street, like they know you don't know them, but you can like, they can come up to you and you can like make it about them, where it's like, oh my gosh, like I watch your videos and it's like, oh, sick. Like, well, tell me about you. Like, what do you like to do? Oh, you like soccer? Like, are you thinking about doing that like professionally? And then like just encouraging them like in their kind of route. That's like one of the things I just love about YouTube so much. And as you can tell, I'm kind of externally processing right now. So if you have any questions that you want to like steer for your own content, let me know. That was kind of like the initial like brain dump. Anything that you want me to go back on, or any questions that arose, feel free to
I'll come back to potentially some stuff at the end. I want to go over the initial questions first, and then if there's anything I feel that we've missed, I'll come back to it. It's great to see that you've obviously always had that sort of motivation there, though, long before the shout out, which, again, talking about, it being a dream to have that platform to get where you were in something that you were so motivated to do, pulling all-nighters and constantly trying to make content, which is great. So I want to take you back a year now, just over a year, to tell me a little bit about the process of being chosen. How did that come about? How did MrBeast contact you, and what was that like for you?
Well, I put my obviously, I don't know if you know, but like he put this tweet out where he was like, I'm looking for 4 small YouTubers under 100,000 subscribers to compete in one of our next videos. Like fill out this form if you're interested, pretty much. And so it was a Google form, and I was like, oh heck yeah, I'm interested, because like at this time I'd taken a break from my YouTube channel, and then I was coming back to it after like exploring like some stuff in like acting and performing. And then I was like, then COVID hit, and I was like, okay, I'll make YouTube videos. So I was making YouTube videos for like about half a year again, like consistently at this point. And I saw this tweet, and I was like, all right, I gotta like check this out. So I filled out the Google form, and then actually, so my friend Andrew from More J Sue actually sent me the Google form, and he was like, yo, like, did you see this? And I was like, no, thank you for sending it to me. And then after I filled it out, I was at their content house where they make all their content. It's kind of like a house turned office type of thing. And we were there, and I was like, yeah, I put the thing, I put my paper in, I put the form in, and it'd be so cool like to be a part of this. So what we actually did was I was like, yo, can we like pray? Because I'm a Christian. And I believe in like, if you want something, then you can pray for it, you can bring it to God, and he'll be like, like I'll look into that for you, so me, Justin, and Andrew like kind of huddled up and just prayed, and it was like, you Lord, just like let your will be done, whatever. We just pray that whoever's supposed to be a part of this like competition would just be a part of it. And if that's me, then like awesome. If not, like even better, because we just want your will to be done. And then it was a Wednesday night, so right after that, I had like this church thing that they were doing like a couple day long event. So I went over to that, and I was sitting in the this is so funny. I was sitting in the the chairs at the church event, and I was listening to my pastor. And like, you know, when I'm in church, I put my phone on silent and I like don't look at it because I'm like trying to pay attention. I'm trying to be a good church boy. And pretty much like my phone starts ringing, and it's like this like weird area code, and I'm like, I'm in church right now, so I like, you know, hit the decline button and I put my phone back down. But when I hit the decline button, my screen came up and it showed all my notifications. And Andrew texted me and he's like, answer all like random phone numbers, like in all caps. And I was like, frick. Because then like right below that, I saw this notification on Instagram and it was from MrBeast. And I was like, this is not real. Like, there's no way this is real. Like that was my first thought. And I clicked on it and it was Jimmy. I wonder if I could pull up the DM actually real quick. I can show you. Just a moment.
If you wanna screenshot it maybe and send it as well, so I've got it as a graphic so I can flash it up. Would be cool if it's as long as it's okay to do that and there's not any
I think so. Let me read it real quick and double check. All right. Yeah, literally. So here, I'm screenshotting it right now. I'll send it to you over Twitter.
Thanks.
So, but I'll show you it right here just for the edit too, because then you can pop it up. But pretty much, I got this text on July 22nd. He was like, "Hey, you free tomorrow?" And he's like, mind you, he's like all the way across the country, like on the East Coast. And I was like, "Yo, like blushing face, not blushing face, but you know what I mean? It's like the shocked face, but it's kind of like a blushing face. But I didn't mean it as a blushing face because that'd be weird." And I was like completely free. I was like, my bad for missing the call. I was in church. So then I'm like, I hope I didn't just mess this up. Because I think I sent that second text like a couple minutes. Yeah, I sent it like a minute after, and I was like, oh Lord, please, like I hope that I didn't just like miss my chance. So he called again, and I was like, oh shoot, let's go. And like a great, you know, follower of Jesus, I booked it out the sanctuary as my pastor was talking, and I got on the phone. So sorry, Lord, but I think it was the right decision. But you know, I was in the parking lot and just on the phone with them. And I'd actually I'd been to Vid Summit, which is like a conference for you know, creators. It's like a creator specific one where you just go to like learn and like talk with other creators. And it's really fun. It's like one of the best things I feel like you can do. It's put on by this guy, Daryl Eves and Sean Duras, and MrBeast is actually a co-owner in it. And I'm not sure, it might be a couple other people as well. But it's a really cool event. So I went there in 2019, and it wasn't like super weird talking to Jimmy on the phone because I'd actually met him the year beforehand, along with, you know, Jay Stu came with me to that too, or Andrew from Jay Stu. So we were walking through this like room, like the main event room in Vid Summit, and he was literally just like sitting alone in the back of the room, like in the middle of all these chairs, like just in a random row, just like staring at the stage, and like nothing was going on. I don't know what he was thinking about. He was probably like brainstorming ideas or something. But I was like, "Yo, this MrBeast, we should like go say hi." And then Andrew was like, "Oh shoot, yeah, let's do it." So we went over and like I introduced myself, and then we walked down. I think his one of his guys, Chucky Appleby. Do you know him at all?
No, not Chucky.
I don't know. I think it was Chucky. It might have been like his brother. I don't know. But pretty much he was like his data guy. So like they came up, and we all started talking. It was my brother who came to the conference with me, because we were starting another YouTube channel, because I was like, maybe I want to make videos with my brother, because like, you know, I've always been like this perpetual thing of like figuring myself out, and I think finally I'm realizing it because like I copy like a lot of people in the you know, effort of like, this is a tangent. So mark tangent for the edit, little audio spike. But you know, I've always been like in this And I'm hoping that I'm getting out of it because it's been like 4 years. But ever since I started YouTube, I was like, well, what are like the people who I admire doing? And I would look at it almost to like a personality level, which is like not healthy to do because I'd be like, oh, like, well, David Dobrik, like he laughs on camera, so I should probably laugh on camera more. Or like, these guys make this video like sneaking into a trampoline park back in 2017 when that was like the normal content on YouTube. So maybe I should do that. And I never like really took time to like ask myself like what I wanted to make and like what I want to like be original with. And obviously like we've had some good like original ideas like pop off, like that gaming room video. I still get so many comments on that gaming room video about how I'm copying other people, but like it's the first one, y'all. I'm sorry. Um, but like, then I went and like, copied Nick Pro for the stunts in real life. So it's just YouTube. You copy stuff and you make it better. But I think I've been like less satisfied recently because I'm like, dang, like, I'm not in it as much like for the money. Like obviously I want to be like financially successful. Like I think that's a good goal to have. But I'm noticing that it's not fulfilling, especially because I've paid myself like $2,000 a month for ever since the Shoutout because I've just reinvested everything like trying to learn and make videos and stuff. But I'm not as much in it for the cash. Like literally, dude, if I showed you my shoes right now, you'd be surprised. Like literally, my shoelace on my left shoe disintegrated because it was like covered in peanut butter. So I still haven't gotten new shoelaces. It's been like a couple months. I got to do that. So like I'm not in it for as much the cash. I do have like I want a McLaren 720S. I think that'd be sick, but way more than a McLaren, I want like connection with my audience and to be proud of what I'm making, and hopefully that it makes like an impact and stuff like that. So that's a random tangent. Anyway, end of tangent. Cutting back to Vid Summit. So Chucky comes up, and we're all in this circle with Jimmy, Chucky, Andrew, me, and my brother, and I've been like taking just like rigorous notes. So Andrew's like, we're talking about like, just the experience of Vid Summit and, how like we love MrBeast videos and also like comparing notes and stuff like that. And I was like, I gave him my notebook and he was like flipping through the notes and he's like, yeah, like this is what Vid Summit's all about. Like everyone should like look at your notes and like just do exactly what you're doing. So that was like a big like, yes, dude. Like one of my favorite YouTubers, just like, Jimmy's an awesome guy. So I was super pumped at that time because, I really looked up to him. It still do, of course. But anyway, that's when I first met Jimmy. So talking to him in the parking lot actually wasn't like super weird at all. It was like, yeah, like we met at Vid Summit. It's cool to like, talk to you again. How's it going? And he's like, good. Can you come out to North Carolina tomorrow? And I'm like, yeah. So he's like, sweet. My like someone will contact you later about the flight. So that was pretty much it. He actually told me like a gist of what the challenge was going to be, what the video they were filming, and I was like, holy crap, this is going to be intense. Because obviously, if you're watching this, you probably know what the challenge was. If not, we held our hands on a box. It was me and three other wonderful gentlemen who make awesome YouTube videos and are so successful and are probably going to be more successful than me, for a little bit. And then I'll figure myself out. I'm going to try to beat them because I love them, and friendly competition is a great thing. But, like it was me and three other people, holding our hands on this box. And one of the guys, his name's Maddie. He does unnecessary inventions on TikTok. Such a funny guy. I love this dude. I wish I talked to him more, but I haven't talked to him in a little while. He got out in the first 6 hours because he was just so like enthralled with smashing Carl's car. It was so funny, dude. Like just how he was going at it. But I was so conservative because I was so afraid of my hand coming off, and that's like exactly what happened, unfortunately. And then from there, it was me, my friend Adam, who does Pretty Board vids, or it's just Pretty Board now on YouTube, and he's been killing it on TikTok and Snapchat and just like, doing great on that. And then it was Isaiah Photo, who actually now has a channel. His channel went from 50,000 to 1.25 million, I think it's at now, just through like YouTube Shorts, and he's been absolutely crushing it. But man, like we were passionate about like being there because we stayed on that box for 36 hours straight, just like standing, and it was an insane experience, like especially when you start like hallucinating. And I thought like the metal like truss with like a light coming up was like something really close to me, like that was like a candlestick, and I was like, what the heck? So fun experiences.
Awesome. So can you tell me then a bit about this is sort of a shorter section. Before you traveled there to do it, how many subs did you have? Because I've got what have I got? Something like nearly 100,000 subscribers. I remember one video I had that went viral, and I'm constantly refreshing the YouTube studio page, looking, I've got 30,000 views, this hour or whatever, and it's something that I believe that most YouTubers in some way, if they've had any type of success, whether it's small or large, have done. They constantly refresh it. How many subs did you have before that video? And after the shout out, how long did it take to get to 100,000, a million, and what was that experience like for you?
So pretty much my channel was at 36,000 subscribers before I went to North Carolina. In between the video being released, my channel went from 36,000 to 50,000. So it was growing pretty quickly. I was figuring out like my content and stuff like that. But then obviously the fastest growth like ever. Oh my gosh, it was insane. I think it was about a month and a half before that video was actually released, because they were trying to get the edit right. Funny thing, the video actually underperformed. Not funny. It's not funny at all. Actually, it's kind of, unfortunate. But, MrBeast was really like trying to, make that video like work. And I think he did a great job with what he had. But then September 5th comes, the video comes out. I release my video. I barely get my video out in time. I get it done like probably 3 minutes before the upload. And then I'm just waiting to hit upload right when he hits it. And I upload my video of, I won 1 million subscribers to MrBeast, so you could link it at the end of the video. And man, I think the first 100,000 probably came within like a couple minutes, if that. And then I think I was watching it up until about like 240,000 or something like that. And it happened so quick. I have like footage of my reaction that I might be able to send over if I can find it. But pretty much from there, I was looking at it till about 240,000. I was with two of my friends, and we were just freaking out, like throwing chairs around. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is insane. And then I just was like, I can't like spend all day looking at this. I'm going to like freak out. So I was like, just, put the computer down, just, hung out with my friends, and just like, honestly, like just didn't tried to like disconnect from it a little bit. Cause I was like, okay, I'm going to come back to this, and I'm excited to see what it's going to be like. But like, I don't want to like overthink stuff and stuff like that. So I stepped away for about 7 hours. And when I came back, within the span of 7 hours, my channel went from 50,000 subscribers, it's like 50.6, to 1.8 million in the span of 7 hours. And I was like, whoa, what am I going to do with this, man? And I had a few like really great consultants, like helping me out with like the decision. Cause man, like I also had like 90 text messages, like just people who like I hadn't talked to in years, just being like, holy crap, I just saw you on MrBeast. And I'm like, dude, it's insane. So just like sharing that experience with so many people was like super awesome. Also like a little bit overwhelming, and like, dang, I hope I don't like mess it up, which, obviously we've done like a fairly good job, but not the best. So it's kind of what I'm trying to figure out right now, because there's a lot of things that have kind of been changing up about the channel. So that's the brief synopsis.
Awesome. Well, that's I'm really pleased to hear you say about the consultants, because I sometimes so there's a lot of scenarios on YouTube with mental health issues, and the point is most people are kids making videos from their bedroom. There's no whereas actors might have training to deal with media and press, a lot of YouTubers don't, and it can really harm their mental health. So it's interesting to hear you had consultants who are there to kind of help you with that. I think your channel is fantastic. I really do. Like, looking at it, it seems that you've found sort of a strand of content with the stunts, which is really enjoyable to watch and feeds into us. I wondered why you were so acrobatic, but you said about the Taekwondo when you were younger. So that makes a bit more sense now.
Yeah, no, yeah,
and they're really, honestly, they're really, really great to watch. And so for me, one of the things that I mentioned to you earlier that I was worried about when it first came out was that, you know, MrBeast has to really choose these channels carefully because they have to be similar style content to his, certainly within that sort of genre. Otherwise, you know, all of his subscribers that might be coming your way, you know, need to be interested in that genre of content. And I think for me personally, that's why it was such a huge success in the end. You know, looking at it now, as I say, a year later, you know, you're still pulling strong numbers, you're still gaining subscribers. So two questions. Firstly is, for you, why do you think that the giveaway was a success for your channel in the long term, as opposed to just the first month after the hype of him uploading the video? Why do you think the giveaway was a success?
Normal thing that happens with like shoutouts is, you know, you see a huge spike and then it drops right off. So, you know, what's going to happen when I get a 1.8 million subscribers or whatever, and I don't make good videos? You know, obviously, if you don't make good videos, if you don't make stuff that people want to watch, they're not going to click on it, and your channel's just going to literally just experience this huge spike. And if you don't have the content to sustain the spike, it's just going to go back to normal. And actually, I saw that happen on my channel. You know, numbers pretty much went back to normal as I was figuring out, like, how do I make good videos? How do I make clickable content? How do I you know, make stuff that people want to see? And that was kind of hard, obviously, you know, because, you know, you make a video, it gets like 100,000 views, you have 1.8 million subscribers. That's like 1/18 of your audience has looked at that. And then you get people commenting on, you know, if you make a video that's, if 1 week you make a video that's like, that underperforms, you get all these comments about like, you know, MrBeast chose the wrong guy, like, you know, like other people should have won, stuff like that. And like, you're only famous because of MrBeast. And then the next week you post a banger that gets like, you know, 10 million views, which is like our gaming room video. And it's like, you get so many people being like, yo, like, it's awesome that, you know, he was able to like sustain his views and like even like separate from like, you know, the MrBeast name, which like I have no desire to. I love MrBeast. But you know, that's just kind of where the content went. So what happened with my channel, right? We did experience a huge spike. Like, it was literally, the graph looks like this, like that, and it goes almost back to normal, probably like doubled from what it used to be. And it was Daryl, this guy Daryl, who consulted for MrBeast and so many other YouTubers, and he runs this series called The Chosen. You know, he actually, him and his team, before the Shoutout, I was taking this course from them called Channel Jumpstart, which just like teaches you kind of like the inner workings, like how do you get CTR, how do you get watch time, and how do you like appeal to an audience. And I was kind of going through that experience of like learning how to do that. So it was like just perfect timing. And then obviously when the Shoutout happened, I was part of the Channel Jumpstart, and Daryl and his partner, or not partner, his one of his chief of staff, Justin, just took me under their wing. And they had like weekly calls with me. I sent them daily accountability emails just to be like, or a text. I was like, yo, this is what we got done. This is what we're planning on getting done. And a lot of times, like, I'd fall short because of, you know, learning experience. It's only been about a year, and that's something I got to remind myself of. Obviously, we only have a minute, so I gotta, you know, if it does cut off, just send me another link and we'll hop back on. But you know, I think what attributed to the success of the channel and not just it going back to normal, because that's what happens with shoutouts, man, if you can't sustain the content, was the fact that I had people around me who were actually knowledgeable about like how to appeal to an audience and how to make videos that perform well and get clicks. I had people around me to teach me how to do that and show me like, this is why a video underperformed. This is a video that I think you should make. This is how I think you should make it. And it's like, okay, sweet. Like, so just getting that feedback, being involved in more of those conversations at a like higher level that allowed me to like learn, just allowed me to figure out, okay, like, how do I make a video that gets like 70% watch time, which only a few of our videos have done it. It's our best performing ones, obviously. So it's all about learning. To conclude on that, I'd say like if you look at our analytics at peak, our our subscribe to not subscribe ratio is like, 90% of our views are from people who aren't subscribed to the channel. So I personally actually don't think I did a very good job of retaining that MrBeast audience. It wasn't, my consultant's fault. It's my fault. Just, still learning. And also, if I were more consistent, the channel would be a lot healthier right now. My whole thing is I've been seeking out advice for so long, that it's great to seek out advice, but also you got to be like self-aware of what you want to do with the advice, because I'm looking to all these people who have already done it. I was trying to like follow the same path when I feel like I'd be a lot more satisfied and I'd make content that was like a lot more what I want to make if I kind of figure out how to blaze my own trail in this own space. So that's kind of what I'm going through right now. Like, how would I make a video based on these fundamental principles of storytelling and getting the click, etc. And I'm still in the process of figuring that out, man. Like this last month, probably been like the most like depressed I've ever been. Just trying to figure myself out. But it's those times of refining when you're kind of going through that furnace that you come out stronger, and like the dross is scraped off of the metal that went through is purified, so that's kind of what I'm experiencing right now. Even a year and like 12 days, it's been a year and 12 days since the shout out, even a year after the shout out.
It's really interesting to hear your sort of take, I guess. Obviously with you have the knowledge of the analytics to say that you don't actually think that you've retained them as well as maybe you could do, which is interesting to put into the video. Awesome. So there's one more question, which is really what the future plans for the channel. You've kind of touched on it a little bit about kind of figuring out and having these conversations as well with consultants. What are the future plans for the channel, and where do you kind of see it going in terms of what you have to be creating in another year or two's time?
Yeah. So when it comes to the future of the channel, that's what I'm just really trying to be like introspective about right now. I have like so many people who like, come up to me and like, oh, you're living the dream, man. Like you probably have people coming up to you all the time. Truth is, like, for the past year, I haven't really like gone out in public much because I've been trying to like figure out this YouTube thing for so long. Not even the YouTube thing. I've already been told all the advice I need to succeed, and I've been seeking so much more because I'm like, what's wrong? But what I'm actually realizing is it's me being like, I know that there's more in me. Like when it comes to a like creator side of things, and I've spent the last 4 years of my life just like trying to improve myself, reading like books and talking with people who know more than me, that I've almost kind of like, I feel like lost myself in that. And I'm trying to figure out how to still apply those principles that I learned, because there's no doubt that they're true and they work. But like, how would I apply it to something that me personally, I would make, not just something that I feel like it should be made this way. You know what I mean? If David Dobrik is doing it like this, then I should too. It's like, that's like my default. That's a way my brain's been trained. And I'm trying to untrain that and be like, okay, how would, like, based on what I like, based on what I'm inspired by, based on like my sense of humor, like how would I make a video? And still applying these key principles of watch time, click is before watch time actually, delivering on the click, watch time, etc. So when it comes to the next 2 years, I have a lot of things that I want to do. I love playing video games. I've been thinking like I want to start Twitch streaming. I just talked with this editing team who's in town and signing a contract with them because I've been editing for 14 years of my life since I was 7, and I don't want to edit anymore. I'm like kind of burnt out on it. So I'm trying to like really figure out, what do I enjoy, what do I not enjoy, and how can I like do the most of what I enjoy and work hard at that, so that I can keep like this inspiration. And that just has come with like not worrying about the edit, because I'm a very detailed oriented person. And if you can kind of like, I think one of the things that I'm learning right now is if you can just get those things that bog you down, like really acknowledge your weaknesses and hire out people for those weaknesses, whenever you can. Like, don't even worry about paying yourself unless you obviously need to, for like rent, food, etc. Which, I'm living with like 5 other guys right now, so rent's pretty easy. But it's acknowledge your weaknesses, work in your strengths, and master your strengths. Because I'm not even like that's why I'm like trying to be so introspective and figure out what the heck do I want to make. So next 2 years is going to be quite a bit of experimenting, but I know for sure that I need to build something sustainable where I have content that's a little bit easier to make, so that I can still be consistent in between when I want to make that content that's like spectacle and like, whoa, like I can't believe they did this, I can't believe they traveled to the 7 wonders of the world and like did backflips on top of each of them or something like that, like that cool content that's like kind of pushing the envelope and like taking content to the next level. That's what I kind of have to spend time figuring out, and even learning, not just by analyzing but learning more so by doing, because I've been analyzing for like 4 years and I've been giving myself this information overload, analysis paralysis, that I got to kind of remedy through just doing. And that's a fear thing for me. So we'll see.
If you could answer that question. So really, what is the relationship with MrBeast? Have you been in touch, and is there any potential plans to maybe collaborate with him again?
Yeah. Okay. So now obviously MrBeast, shout out the channel. And we obviously talk from time to time still and stuff like that. From meeting him at Vid Summit to, doing that video with him, and then actually coming back for a couple different videos. I've texted him in the past, just asking if I can come out and just see how he does things, and kind of like shadow him in a sense. And he is just like the kindest dude ever. I was like, yo, man, like, even if like I'll literally clean your porta potties if I could just like come out and just, see what you're doing and just glean from you a bit. And he's the nicest guy, and he has it like so set up in such amazing ways, to where, he's pretty much like cloned himself in a lot of ways, just through the people that work with him. He's just really good at training people. But he took, at least from an outside perspective, I don't actually work there, so who knows, but in my opinion, it seems like he's built a really good structure to his company, and he just, for a lot of the day, where I was kind of just following him around on this I think it was the trick shot shoot. So he was doing make this shot, win $300,000. It was insane. And they were filming part of that video, along with another video, I believe. And he just sat in his car with me. I was in the back seat. This guy, his head of production, Dustin, was in the car too. And they're just giving me so much advice. Like, they're just pouring into me. Meeting like Chris and Carl, I've met them a couple times at different shoots. Same with Chandler. Like, they're so down to earth. So they're awesome. They deserve everything they got. They are just super genuine people who seem like they just love making videos. So they deserve to be where they are. I've definitely, like, in the past, not wanted to like text him too much because I don't want to like bother him or anything, because I know he's busy. But there's definitely been times where I've reached out with like questions like, hey, when you're working with like friends and their employees, like how do you like navigate that relationship? Because obviously, there's this difference between, someone being like the leader of, a team or a boss, and then, someone being a friend. Like, it's hard to navigate that. But that's what happens a lot on YouTube, because, you make videos with your friends. So he's been extremely helpful. And, I've been thinking about like collabs that I want to do with him in the future. I have this one in the works that it's probably gonna take a lot longer than I want it to. But I'm gonna try to get it like done. We'll see how it turns out. But definitely leaning more into like creator relationships is something that I want to do in the future, because now that my hands are kind of off the edit, I have a lot more time to just brainstorm and think of cool things that I want to make that would hopefully like appeal to an audience, and at the same time, like, reach out to other creators. Like, developed a friendship with Preston It's just been a blast, like being able to be a part of this community, because that's another reason why I started YouTube. Now, just to make it concise, because I go through a lot of tangents. um, Me and MrBeast definitely still chat from time to time, but I don't want to like always bother him or anything. So it's more so like whenever I reach out, he's like so kind to like respond and give me advice. And even like, I'd send him a text and he immediately called me one time, just like asking me about like, the question I asked. And it's more so me who's like, you're a busy dude. You're making awesome videos and making a super large, like positive impact in the world. And I just want to try to provide as much value to him as possible and take up the least amount of time of his as possible, So